Welcome to Sharp Action Show, episode 4. This is March, ladies and gentlemen. We're here officially. Lots on the show tonight. Be sure to check us out on social media. We are at Sharp Action Show, sharpactionshow.com, talking some NCAA Tournament sleepers, some of the non-favorites. And as always, a little NBA chatter. We got Mailbag, always really important bone stat. As always, we are joined by Anthony and my man Marco. We're starting off hot. And speaking of a hot team over the weekend, Marco, the Dallas Mavericks got her done for you. Break us through the wager. How much were you sweating through that one?
Full disclosure, I was getting absolutely raped for the last 2 weeks. I am absolutely, even with the fucking $500,000 win, I am still down over the last 2 weeks. So don't let me fool you. It's been ugly. It's been dark. I put in my comments to my buddy, I was on the couch ready to pop a Xanny to try and get through the fucking night. But you know what? Losers stay losers because they don't fucking bet anymore. I stayed on the fucking grind. I was looking at the game. I said, Mavericks are coming back. It wasn't the way I drew it up, but that's the way that happened. Honestly, what a great game. You know what happened is Golden State turned off the motor, and they said, we already won the game. And the game's not over until the final second ticks off. What do you think?
No, I mean, I actually didn't watch the game in its entirety, so I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I caught the end of it is because I was scrolling for another game within the phone, of course. I had a little late-night action going. Yeah. And then I said to myself, wait a minute. They just blew like a 20-point lead. Let me tune into that.
Yeah.
And exactly when I had tuned in, I couldn't sum it up better. Just absolute disarray. Just could not.
Curry, like literally was trying to turn it back on, but when you turn it off for over a quarter, it's just mental. It
was turned off.
It's just a mental grind to get it back on.
It was turned off to where even the guys who get in rhythm and fucking fire.
The crowd was
were
done.
Like, yeah, they were. They were like
the
short
crowd was
arming.
like, oh my God, come back.
I know.
Come back.
I know.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Oh, man. This is your weekly reminder.
A perfect depiction, by the way.
Yeah, give them the reminder. Give them the reminder.
Weekly reminder to please gamble responsibly. If don't risk what you don't want to lose, as they say.
Don't risk what you can't afford to lose. That's what I say to people.
Right. If you want to lose a certain amount, throw it out there and say, hey, this could be gone. And it could come back, you know? That's the chance of gambling.
Is that how it works?
Enough with the disclosures. Don't gamble if you can't. Next.
Western Conference odds. We talked Eastern Conference last week. Well, the Suns are favored still. They actually got shorter. They went up to 170 via DraftKings. You still have Golden State. So it's Golden State, Phoenix, 1-2. Everybody, all the prognosticators in some order have these guys 1 and 2. If there's another team out there besides these two that you love to potentially upset them, unseat them from a Western Conference final, who you like? Anybody?
You want to kick it off, Anthony?
Yeah, I could kick it off. I'll make this short and sweet.
Yeah,
I love Utah being that team at plus 650. Spider Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and then you have Clarkson off the bench, who's like a guy who could literally score 35 on any night.
And any night.
So I love Utah.
He likes Utah.
Among the rest of these teams, Memphis is a little young for me. Denver's a little hurt.
So I'm going to tell you, I hate when I agree with this fucking mold, okay? Because I love Utah at plus 650. The other team that I love, and what people aren't understanding is I'm going to give you 2 long shots, and I guess they're not technically long. Well, one's for sure a long shot, is the Denver Nuggets. If they get back Jamal Murray, if he's able to come back this year, and then Michael Porter comes back, that team is a championship-winning team.
Way different.
They have size, speed, and absolute fucking talent. I would hate to play Jamal Murray with the Joker and all the size around them. It'd be a disaster for a lot of teams. The other team, and I'm going to get insulted for this, is the Clippers.
The Clippers.
If they somehow get back Paul George.
You know how much I hate to agree with this motherfucker? The Clippers, dude?
Look at me. Kawhi Leonard, if he somehow says, you know what, I'm going to take off
He's
my...
not somehow saying...
I'm gonna
do
take
you see his past antics? He's not somehow...
If he sees Paul George, I'm going to take my panties off, and I'm going to go jump in the game. That would be the scariest fucking bottom seed I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. The Clippers will be in the play-in game, and PG and the other guy making $100 million apiece, they'll be eating lobster at Craig's.
I don't know,
They're
bro.
fucking
I'm just
out.
saying, if they come back...
They are not coming back.
I might sprinkle a little love on it just on the fucking gamble that they come back. I don't know.
God bless you. I hope you do.
I like Denver more. Don't get me wrong.
No love for Dallas?
What about Utah?
You
You
think
don't
Dallas?
like Utah?
I'm going to tell you why I don't think Dallas.
What about Utah?
I know. I love Utah. Trust me.
You love them like where you're going to maybe fire?
I mean, I don't love 650 enough to fire.
Yeah.
I know that
You think Dallas can at least win a series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could win
Yeah.
a series.
Okay.
Here's the other
They
thing
got
about
one
Dallas.
guy who could actually win 2 series.
Yeah,
on
no,
his
they've
back.
got Doncic, who's
Yeah.
I love him. Luka's I love Luka. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but the big thing about Dallas is they're missing something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's something missing in the magic
They
potion.
went real. They screwed themselves with that Porzingis edition.
I do agree because Bertans can't hit the fucking ocean if he's next to it.
Yeah. All right. As always, every week we got a really important bone set to help you win some cash, get you some earnings. Did you know, since 2002 in college basketball, the final AP #1 team, which is prior to the NCAA tournament, only once since 2002 have they eventually won the national championship,
Wow.
and that was 2012 Kentucky. You got to go back to 2001 Duke when they won it over Arizona. They were a preseason top
Who
two
was
team.
on the 2012 Kentucky team
So you had your guy, you had Anthony Davis.
before he got injured?
Yeah. You had a
Before he
respectable-
started acting like a prick all the time.
He is a
you had
prick.
Patrick Patterson on that. You had
Remember
some
him?
respectable guys.
He's a prick.
Yeah.
Prick.
Terrence Jones was decent. They had some respectable
Green Bay.
guys, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy. So that's the view. And people forget AP poll final one just prior to the tournament. So Gonzaga's still #1 at the moment. If they lose, they'll definitely drop. They didn't, despite losing this past.
So
weekend
only
at the
one team
Yep.
ranked #1
In the
has
AP.
entered the
Tournament.
the tournament and won it.
Correct.
You know, real quick, as I saw that whole thing about all those top dogs that
Yeah.
lost this past week, it just kind of backpacks on our conversation
might
we
see-
previously had.
We'll
where
get into it
anybody
later.
could
Yeah.
win this.
Yeah, we got to let's save that for after.
First time ever we had the top 6 teams all losing the same day in the AP poll this past weekend. But
I have the balls to bet that
yeah,
too.
yeah. Moving on to another fun segment of the show called Mailbag of the Week, and this one is from via YouTube. Let's get the name right here. It's at Ron Effect, and this question's for all of us. What website do you guys trust the most in terms of research, rankings, injury reports, and specifically we're talking football, college, NFL? Any research, any website specifically that you, so it could be specific, not so much the betting website, but what you do for your research. I think an underrated component is,
I think honestly,
go ahead.
I think you're the best person for this.
Yeah,
this
I
is
really
literally
do.
what you do.
I think you
like this
should
is literally
answer
what
yeah,
you do.
Yeah. So I think an underrated part that people use, even the committee, in terms of seeding teams, I think the eye test is always going to be a big factor. So I'm not a huge analytics guy. Eye test is certainly big, but I think when you study the matchups, we talked about it a little bit earlier in our first couple of shows. Strength versus weaknesses. If you can exploit them, sometimes you got a passing defense ranked 130, and they're like a 2-point favorite against a number 5 passing offense. It's a tough matchup. You go with that matchup in your favor. Some people don't really hit home on certain stats, but I think a lot of eye tests, injuries in college, it's night and day compared to the pros. I mean, you get updates 24/7, in college, in the NBA. Compared to college football, sometimes you don't know until kickoff. So I think it's just
I'm
being
using
alert.
I'm using Twitter a lot.
Social media, I
finding
think.
like the beat reporters for those specific teams. I'm trying to find key people that are like notable journalists that are going to be able to get that info. Team doctors that might release info. There's a lot of things like that. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
so
I'm
that'd
looking
be-
at journalists with a ton of validity over Twitter. Obviously, blue check guys that are mainstream ESPN type guys, and I like the apps on the phone. I use a number of the different apps, and I allow the alerts for those too, just so I get it right.
the RotoWire.
All the stuff.
All right.
All right. It was a little bit last week we talked about it. We flirted. We're talking NCAA tournament. We're less than 2 weeks away. We're officially in March. We're talking the non-title contenders. So teams you're not going to see in the top 5, the 10 in the polls and the bracketology. These are sleepers to win it all and some Final Four odds. Illinois, we talked about them. Obviously, you're not going to see them on DraftKings, but general consensus, sportsbooks, to win it all, plus 3,000 among teams that aren't clear-cut title contenders. A team guys that I love. They're at night and day. They got the Rick Barnes. Sometimes when it comes to March, they get the gagging effect. But Tennessee has been very catchy fire lately. I think they got decent odds at plus 3,500 to win it all. You like a different SEC team, a team that actually has competed well against the Vols.
Yeah, I like Arkansas plus 5,500 in this tournament.
Solid team.
Again, this being a year that anybody could win, why not Arkansas? They play really good D. and they're young, athletic.
Great guard
Again,
play.
like I said before, maybe episode 2 or so. I like athletic teams in the tournament because if I'm playing on Friday, then I'm playing on Sunday, and
Yep.
I want legs out
Yeah,
there.
JT Note's a stud.
So the team
he
that
is.
I fucking hate, but I just can't get by, like they just win, is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I
They're
can't
the
stand
most
them.
annoying fucking.
They're my least favorite team in the whole world.
They play white boy basketball, and it drives me fucking nuts. They pass, swing pass, pass,
got an ass,
pass,
he's got a lift.
drive to the hole, shoot. And what's sick is they make that shot every fucking time. Johnny Davis is a fucking animal. Brett Davidson, who was like a 27th year,
Brad. Yep,
he's
Brad.
a 27th year senior, I think it is. The guy won't leave
Brad
college.
Davis,
He's
yeah,
like fucking.
he's always gonna lay
what
the-
movie is that? That guy literally fucking needs to file for his age.
Van Wilder.
Wilder.
Van Wilder.
He is the Van Wilder of college basketball.
Brad Davidson. Johnny Davis is a stud.
That is
Honestly-
a team I hate. For sure. Every time I watch them play, I'm like, they do that drill for at least an hour,
Yeah.
where they slide the feet.
Correct.
Honestly, though, Wisconsin at plus 6,000. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
They're nice.
And the Final
They're
Four.
a hard
They're
out.
annoying.
Right.
They're
And
an
they're
annoying
tall.
team.
And we're talking Final
They're
Four
annoying.
odds. Final
They're
Four
fucking
odds as
annoying.
well. Wisconsin Final Four odds plus 1,400. Not terrible because you look at some teams like
My God.
the favorites are going to be barely.
See, but
nothing.
then that's where I disagree.
Yeah.
Because a team like that they get beat in the Elite 8 or the Sweet 16.
Bro.
You
Yeah.
know why?
A team like that goes and faces a team like Gonzaga. They're going to piss Gonzaga off.
For sure, Gonzaga.
That'd be a great matchup.
But
That'd
I
be
like
a
to see
brutal
them, I
matchup
like to
for
see
them.
them get matched up with like Baylor or something. They get run off the floor.
No,
doing
I do believe
kind of
that.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you back to a
They
quick
played
game.
last year.
They
I'm going to
get
make
run
it
off
quick.
the floor.
They got ran off the floor last year.
Dayton
will.
Was it no? Houston played Wisconsin.
Yes.
In the first half of that game, Wisconsin was up 20, beating the shit out of them. All of a sudden, they played fast, and all of a sudden, they almost blew the whole game because the speed on the court was too fast for them.
They cannot play fast.
Yeah.
They want to slow it down, pass the fuck out of it, like you said,
Be
then
methodical.
look for their
Who do you
fundamental
like?
shot.
Who do you
I
like?
like Tennessee as a sleep. I think Tennessee, I'm not saying book them to the Final Four, but if they're playing well down the stretch, they're going to be a 3 or 4 seed. I might take them over a potential Arizona. Could be a Sweet 16. I'll tell you right now, if Tennessee plays Arizona, I'll take the Vols.
I'm so tired of the fucking Gonzaga and Arizona getting credit for
Yeah,
something
well,
they don't
it's funny.
deserve.
The Arizona credit drives me berserk,
Well,
too.
here's the funny part. The last time a West
They
Coast
play in
team,
a church league.
right? The last time a West Coast team actually won something, 97 Arizona. with
Yeah, because
Mike-
they
Mike
play
Bibby
shit
and-
talent all year
97.
long.
That's a long time.
Like
man.
they're playing Mount St. Mary's in a fucking high school gym. Mount St. Mary's would lose to Simeon here.
For Gonzaga's
Yeah,
case,
he's right.
if they can't do it this year, it may be a while because you got Chet. The West Coast Conference is better than normal, but to your point, if they can't do it this year, they're going to be getting a lot of grief for a while because this year we've talked very watered down.
Yeah.
They're not quite as good as last year. There's
They
no Baylor.
will not do it this year.
There's no Baylor though this year.
They will not
That
do
Baylor
it
team
this
was
year.
loaded last year.
Let me ask you: do you think they will win it this year, Gonzaga? Because I feel like you're
They
the guy
got
who
a
thinks they do.
39%
He's the guy
chance.
who thinks they're gonna win. I guarantee it.
I know,
Say it now.
I like their chances. I
Again.
like their chances.
So does the rest of the
I'm
world.
going to call you the favorite.
Well, here's the funny part. This is the first time I've loved them, and this is last year.
For what?
I had Baylor beating them last year, and they did.
What are their
So-
odds to win it all?
Well, we talked about last week's. Got to check out last week's episode.
They
is
still
it?
have that
Odds haven't
porn
changed.
star guy.
What is it? What's their odds?
Do they still have him?
I think it's only a plus a couple hundred. So
They
it's
got him.
not-
To win it all is plus a couple hundred?
Yeah.
That's a fucking stroke job. Right?
Yeah, I know this guy.
All right,
I like
next
their
topic.
chances.
Let's
Oh,
go.
all right. So
Hey,
we-
I like their chances too.
Skip over the non-top favorites. We
yeah,
get it.
yeah. So I mean, final thoughts here, guys. We got less than 2 weeks from the tournament. We'll be talking picks. We'll be doing a lot of individual videos as well because we got to be talking brackets before you know
Yeah.
it. Next week's the last week before. Next week's gonna be conference tournament week, so we'll be breaking down some conference tournaments that we like for you to put some cheddar on. Who's gonna win a conference tournament? Some teams need to do
I
well.
kind of like Colorado. Colorado to win their
Ralphie,
tournament.
He keeps talking about this
the Buffs.
Colorado
The
team.
Buffs.
He likes them.
They're
They
fucking
got
the weirdest
Samaki-
good team I've ever
Samaki
seen.
Walker's kid from Colorado's a stud. They got in last year. All right. I like it. All right. Final thoughts here. As always, guys, special thanks, Illinois Media School. Can't do it without you guys. Andrew, TJ, the best in the business. This is sharpactionshow.com. Episode 4. Follow us on all social media platforms. We are at Sharp Action Show. Looking forward to it. Can't believe March is here, guys. Signing off for Anthony, Marco, I'm Bones. 4 episodes in the books. Until next time, folks, have a great week.